who is representatively presenting his own work. And the audience is limited. Security people are not. Yeah. If we have any questions, feel free. If you have any questions, feel free to inject.
Yeah, thanks, Danny, for being the audience.
So now you're in the game. Okay, literally in the game. Okay, the game is yours. Yeah, please.
So I made the theme was a game based on some TV series.
Yeah.
That was the whole idea of the theme. So I've made a simple quiz or trivia game. So first of all, you can put in your name, rounds, and how often you're allowed to fail. It takes a few seconds to load because it
because the network is a bit shitty.
Yeah, so the trick of this game is it gets all its information from the so each TV series has its own wiki page. So it gets all the questions from the internet, which it does in the background right now, but apparently it's so slow. It takes time. So it gets some the 50 most represented characters, the most popular ones from the TV series, and then generates. You can see it gets the image and generates some questions with 4 answers. What's the alias? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's either right or wrong, and then in the background it should get the next question while this round is going on, and yeah, it's.
You play just with yourself, or you play?
Yeah, you play for the score, and there's a leaderboard, and then you get put into the leaderboard. Yeah, that's the whole goal of the game.
Okay.
If you reach a score of 500 consecutively, you get a 50-50 token. So that's this one here. It unlocks, and if you get a 600, you get a free skip, so you can skip to the next.
Okay.
Yeah, it crashed because it took so long. I can try it via hotspot.
That's alright. Okay.
Maybe it's a bit faster.
And you select the series that you want the quiz for?
Yeah, so because it's based on Wikia, it has some kind of standard API. So I've put in 2 TV series, and right now it's Breaking Bad and Vikings, but you could theoretically put any TV series you want. You just have to tell him which text you want. So it's set. So each TV series has its own text. So for Breaking Bad, I get age, the alias, the actor, and this. And for Vikings, I only get this because the wiki doesn't have the other information.
I see.
So it depends on the maintenance of the wiki how up to date.
I see.
Yeah, there's the leaderboard where it shows. Yeah, that's the game I played yesterday. So it shows the name and the high score. Yeah.
What do you use for leaderboard? Use Firebase, or what do you use?
I just it's saved locally as just a list.
Okay, so it's a local.
Yes, just a local. Yeah, if the network's faster, it works. I mean, you can try again.
So you need to recompile the game if you want to add series and so on, right? You can't just change the assets.
You need to tell. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I thought about just letting the user type in the URL. So you just need to tell the game the URL and the tags. I thought about adding that as user editable stuff, but I hadn't had time because you need to validate that it's a valid URL.
Of course.
And the tags.
But you could also externalize that and make it into assets, right?
Yeah, right.
So that this way it's a lot of easier to manage, right? So in the project you just modify the assets, but here you require well, not so perhaps not so competent user to actually modify code, right? Which is of course much more risky.
I tried to make it as easy as possible, just a list to add. But of course you would, like for a final product, you would do it as an asset or some fields or I don't know some type of stuff the user could do themselves, because it's pretty easy. You need just the URL and then the tags, and the tags are, you can see it on the page.
I see. Okay. I can automate that even, right?
Yeah.
So that could be your next jam.
Yeah, and then you can put the rounds and fails. Another thing I would add in the final product is right now the leaderboard only shows the score and the player name, but you don't know how many tries the player had. So he could have failed 20 times and had a high score. The other one failed 0 times and had a high score. So yeah, and it also doesn't show the game, which I also would add. But yeah, that much. These are some things I would add in the future. I can try again if it's a bit faster now, but it doesn't. Yeah, oh, another thing is when you press play, I would add a splash screen. So right now it's more or less frozen while it downloads. Yeah, you can see this. Yeah, ideally I would add a splash screen to add some kind of loading indicator.
Yeah.
And only show it after this is done. Yeah, now it works a bit better. For the next first. Yeah, so when it's right, it adds the score and pretty simple. I can try to reach one of those jokers. Yes, so now the jokers unlock, and if you press the 50-50 one, you only have 2 options.
Yeah.
And then this one is just to skip. Press it. There's between the rounds, there's always a 2-second cooldown to allow the app to get the information. If it already had the information, there's no such cooldown. But right now, the network is a bit slow. I guess it got stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
Cool.
Yeah, the main idea is that it's like based on the wiki and that it's like easily expandable and easily, yeah.
It's very nice. I mean, yeah, it's definitely, I can see that it's easily revisable, extendable, and so on, right? Do you have any plans for community features? Like, you know, but like now it's like single player, right?
Yeah, ideally the leaderboard would be online, so you could compare it, and there would be a 2-player mode, so that you can pretty much play against each other, and then the best, the highest score wins. So kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then maybe unlock jokers based on that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could add more of these jokers. Yeah, if you didn't answer correctly, or if the time runs out, it will show you the correct one that would have been correct, but you don't get any score. Yeah, that's the whole idea.
Does the time matter for scoring? Like the faster you answer?
It's 20 seconds, and you get pretty much the remaining seconds times 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you answer right at the beginning, you get 200 score. If you answer
at the end,
yeah, you get
10
or something. Yeah. So the faster you are, the better your score gets. Yeah, and in the end, it's game over. And now this score should have been added to the leaderboard. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those parameters also get saved. So if we change this to 12, change the name.
And that's stored persistently, right? So
yeah, as a shared preference.
Yeah. Okay.
So I also take the mobile programming, so I wanted to incorporate a bit of that and train my skills a bit. Yeah, and those get saved. And the next time you run the game, it will show your name and your settings you want.
Yeah.
So how do you generate the destructors for the questions?
So how I get from the wiki, you mean?
Yeah, so from the wiki you get the question and the right answer, right? Yeah. But how do you generate the destructors?
Okay, so I get the 50 most popular character sites. Then I pick one randomly, take that as one answer, and then I pick the next 3 random characters, and then choose the tag I want from that character.
I see.
So I would, the Walter White character, I would choose that one, the actor, and then choose the actors of 3 other random characters I picked.
I see.
And those are the 3 other
I see.
answers. So it's all based on the big.
Yeah.
Cool. It's convenient, right?
Yeah,
so
it's,
I mean,
it's good. Yeah.
you could really easily extend it to a framework that could, you know, be kind of low maintenance, right? So really auto-generate a lot of content, a lot of input, a lot of.
Normally you have database with all the questions, but this is like you code it once and then you can extend it endlessly.
Yeah, exactly.
Really ad hoc. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, solid idea. How did you get the idea?
I don't know. Yeah, I wanted the app, so that's first, and then I just thought about the quiz, and then the first thing you have to think about when you have a quiz is I need questions, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought, I don't want to sit here one day and compile questions and answers, and then I thought, there's a wiki, so I can use that to my advantage.
Cool. Very nice. Sounds like a good idea.
So if you were to rate the difficulty of the questions, how would you do that? If you were to build in some metric for the question difficulty?
You could, for example, if you want easy questions, I would say if you pick the 10 most popular characters, it would be a bit easier.
Yeah.
Because some random character you might have never heard of.
Exactly, yeah.
So if you only pick the 10 most popular, it would be easier, I think. You could also filter on the tags. So for example, you might know actors, but the first episode when a character appeared, it might be a harder question to answer, so that would also be something.
Because you could kind of differentiate, you could start with some bucket of easy questions and upgrade to harder and harder.
Yeah, that would also be something like if you reached a score of 1000, you could get harder questions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, looks really good.
Solid.
Solid. Yeah, nice.
I mean, actually quite refined for Jam anyway. So I think you can easily extend this into something more tractable. So what's the hardest bit for you? I mean, where do you spend the most time on?
So the wiki has a public API, but it's not very good, very well documented, which I could use for getting the character list. But then to get the actual text from the page, there's also an API, but it's some weird JSON format, which is not correctly formatted. So I had to write my own code to get those tags and filter myself.
Oh, okay.
So that was a bit tricky to understand what the API is trying to do and what I wanted to do.
Okay.
There's also the different wikis have different maintainers, so they do things differently. So one might put like the actor name and then in curly braces a link to that, and one wiki did the not curly braces, the normal braces, and put the link there. So and I had to filter that link out, so you have to keep in mind all of those different things.
Yeah. So what's the bottleneck with the network? Why the network is so slow? It's just because of the network, or?
I think it's because of this network here, because at home
it was smooth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the first questions last time loaded pretty normally.
Okay.
There's only a bit of a delay if you first press play, because then it needs to get all those informations. But now it gets, while I answer this one, it already had the next one in
okay.
store. And now it should be, we have a little bit of cooldown, and then the next one's already ready.
Cool.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be also nice to keep track of which questions you've already asked. So
I do that actually. So here I visited the page of Gale British or something.
Yeah.
So I put him in a list,
Yeah.
and I will never choose him again
I see.
for a question.
I see. Okay.
So he will never get. He will get chosen again for these answers here. He will get chosen again,
Yeah.
but not as a main question about his character.
Mm-hmm.
So there shouldn't be any duplicates.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, very solid. Actually, quite refined given the time frame. So, yeah.
I would like the kind of a competitive mode with another player, so
Yeah.
you both get the same question and kind of
But
compete.
ideally, I would need 2 Android devices to test that
Yeah.
via Bluetooth or internet.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, if you use Firebase, you could still do it.
You could use Firebase
with emulator,
yeah.
right?
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of new to Android, so
Yeah.
this is my first real project, except Lab 1.
Oh, that's very good.
And it's very nice. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, looks good. Looks tidy. Most of the things well refined. Doing the networking with the multiplayer and so on. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, that would be a next step.
Yeah, next step. It's not part of the prototyping.
No.
Yeah, looks good. Should use something like that for generating exam questions. Here's
Yeah.
a wiki.
Here's a wiki, yeah.
Yeah.
Randomly picking and then generate.